So, this is a leftover from when Ming Drive was originally constructed. There was additional grounds in Douglas Township. On that plan.
Is it, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay,
Thanks, man.
okay.
And would you stay right?
Have a nice evening.
Thank you. It's a cul-de-sac now coming off of Moyer Road, Moyer and Gilbertsville right there. And the cul-de-sac goes all the way to the Douglas Township line where there's a bulb. The owner of the Douglas Township side has gone through the subdivision process in Douglas, and there's a connecting road to Ming Drive. And the reason for that is the leftover piece back when Ming Drive was developed is actually the opposite story is what you heard for State Street. On that one, there's actually a deed restriction that says it has to be open once the Douglas Township property is developed. So it was designed to be this way. It was just a temporary cul-de-sac with the intent to go through once Douglas Township side was developed. So what the Douglas Township and the developer came to us and said, how do you want this to happen? Do we just want a part of their escrow? So we had our engineers look at it. The one thing that we want them to do is remove the portion of the bulb that's no longer needed, so it just looks like a straight street in Upper Pottsgrove. Also to extend those two lots, one on either side of the bulb. I believe that's all there is 2 lots impacted, so that their driveways are extended to the new road, so that their mailboxes are moved to be along the new road, and so that their lawns are graded and seeded to look like their lawns, like the bulb was never there. Additionally, what we said is that they need to do is put 2 stormwater, there's a pipe there as well, so to connect the stormwater at the top, well, I guess it's the bottom, like Ming Drive slides, I believe the other way, so that all the stormwater from the development is captured in Douglas Township and flows into the new storm sewer system that's in Douglas Township. So with their design, it should not add any, it should actually take stormwater away from Ming Drive in Upper Pottsgrove and take the stormwater into Douglas Township. So all those things were considered. The applicant or the developer said they would do whatever we want them to do. So Planning Commission recommended all those things that I just went over, basically to make it look like a through road and to control the stormwater pursuant to our engineer's review. So we're just kind of bringing it to you to make sure you concur with that directive, and then we will go to the developer and tell them what you expect them to do.
Planning Commission have input?
Yeah, the Planning Commission wanted it to straighten out the cul-de-sac bulb and put the stormwater controls in, and to make sure that those improvements are done for those 2 lot owners as well, the driveways, the mailbox, and the lawn. And what we would have our engineers do or inspectors do is make sure they're there when it's happening, so that make sure that our residents are taken care of. I guess the third item that I didn't bring up was that we wanted to make sure no utilities or construction traffic happened coming through Main Drive, that all that had to come from the Douglas Township side. And the developer said that no utilities will come through us, and that all construction traffic is designed to come from the Douglas Township side.
That said,
And one other issue, sorry, not to interrupt there. One other issue, again, snow removal becomes an issue here because now this is a through road that goes into another township. So we just wanna make sure that the township's covered, and maybe Eric can draft an agreement as well, that says we plow the portion from Moyer to where the cul-de-sac was, and they take care of the rest.
Yep.
Just because it's a road that's gonna be now in both townships.
So there'll be no appearance of a former cul-de-sac, there'll be straight through.
That's correct.
I have a question, probably for Jeremy at this point. Right now, you have to plow Main Drive.
Correct.
So you turn around in this bulb,
Yes.
right? And the bulb's not there, so we can't turn around anymore. Would it be something to consider leaving the bulb there so our guys can simply just turn around?
The only problem with that is they're gonna push their snow into our bulb.
Okay,
I
alright.
mean, when we put up to other townships like Douglas, Berks, I mean, Evans Road, I'll use that for an example, I don't stop in the middle of Evans Road.
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
we go out and turn around, and then vice versa. There's times they get to our roads and take care of our roads before we get there, which is a courtesy thing between townships that we do.
One question, I went to the planning commission meeting, I asked the question, I didn't, still don't understand, how does this benefit our residents on Main Drive? I mean,
It doesn't.
so it just, you know, this is like the mini State Street, I just, I'm just curious. We don't have any options, that we are mandating to do this, cause we can break agreement.
It's in it, so the deed, the prior subdivision plan, the deed's exact opposite story as State Street, so I'm not saying we can't go back and say we don't wanna connect it, and then their approval might need to be amended, I don't know if they'll be amenable to it.
Maybe the
I'm
next-
sure, I did ask them that, and as most subdivisions require, you need two means of ingress and egress, I think this is the second one that's designed into it right now. In the future, there may be more, because there's other routes that are designed similar to this, where they are currently in the plans that are in your packages, show them as temporary cul-de-sac bulbs that are extending into now vacant lots. They're not vacant, but they're farmland now that's gonna be developed sometime in the future, at least they're
Yeah, and I
planning for
think,
it.
if I'm not mistaken, Erica, cause I wasn't at the planning commission meeting, but Sherry updated me. I think one of our members on the planning commission actually lives on Main Drive, and he said before he bought his property, he did know that there could be a future road.
What's that? It does, yes. So so really what is, that developer was obligated to do it. So that developer is living up to the expectations, the requirements that are in the deeds right now. So to come back, right, you could have that developer saying, hey, I have to do this, or I have the right to do it. So it could be a battle, especially if Douglas Township wouldn't approve it without that, then you're gonna fight that developer, because they're gonna need to put that in.
So what does the board wanna do? You got a proposal on the table here, any adjustments to that, do you want any more research done?
I would like to see if there's an option not to connect this, because for the sole fact, it does not benefit any of our residents. I mean, it's,
I think they're trying to bring back it's a no, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, and then was the planning commission, voted on this all in favor of this particular proposal?
the
Correct.
Borough Road with the conditions that
Yes.
I talked about.
Commission?
If it carries with the deed, it carries with the deed, you know, I mean,
Well, planning commission's stretching.
All right, so I'll need a motion to,
Just let me ask you this.
Mhm.
If we would say no, can you defend this in court with it in the deed?
Potentially, it's a gray area in the law in that, I think I don't think anyone on the current Main Drive is gonna support the other development. They would support you doing that, I believe. I don't think they want it going through either, but no one's gonna be able to support us to the extent that, we have a right to block them. And I think the other side of that is gonna be that developer has to put it in. It's in the deed, he's forced to put it to, install it the way the deed's instructed him to. And to that saying he's forced to, if Douglas Township says he needs that connection, he's not gonna say, I'm just forced to, it has to go through for my development to work. So I think it's gonna be difficult to defend, yes.
other questions? Need a motion then to follow through with the recommendation as proposed?
can I motion to table this? Is this something we need to really do, vote on today? Is this a pending?
It's not a development in your township, so we're not really holding anything up for anybody on your side, but
I'm having a difficult time, again, thinking of, I don't know, what's 12 residents there that did some packs, and then we have 10 residents on State Street, we're holding the line on them. I don't know, I am not voting for this, but I would motion to table.
Can he speak into his microphone?
I will be voting no on this because I don't see a benefit to our residents, and I would like to explore options so there is a benefit to our residents. but I understand the points here, but I would motion to table this if we can and to get more information. We've done that many times.
So we have a motion to table.
Okay, then do we have a motion to, you already made the motion, right? Okay, so we have that, did I get a second on it?
No.
Okay, I need a second on the motion to follow the recommendation from the planning commission.
That's it.
Hearing no second,
I'll second it.
your second, okay, we have a second, all right.
So who was the second? Dave.
Uh,
And then you got a motion to the table, so.
Let me take a vote, on this one, we're gonna vote on the motion to use the procedure, to the recommendation here of the planning commission. Any further discussion on that point? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
No.
Okay, so that negates the table motion. All right? Good. On your agenda, you have B, C, and D. These are the township, we do this about this time every year. This is the minimum municipal obligation, that's what we pay in after we calculate, depending on employees, what we pay out, and the numbers we get from the actuarials. So you have 3 of these documents in here. This is very important, because you may recall, some of you may recall, back in 2018 going forward, we were on the verge of passing 70% assets to liabilities, which the state gets involved in. We fixed that. Going forward, we're above 90% right now with our pension funds. You'll see 3 in there. We have the standard 401 type thing, and it's not that, it's the defined contribution and defined benefits for both our non-uniform employees, and you see the one for the police that's in there. These are very important. It goes in towards the end of the year, and that pluses up the account. Also, you may recall that we have these invested with a different investment manager as well. So we will start off with, do I need to explain the mechanics behind this, or are everybody good with what the numbers mean? Okay. Let's go with the minimum for the non-defined benefit pension. That's the one with 44,555. I'll need a motion on that one.
I'll make that motion.
Need a motion to a second.
I'll second.
Second, further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next one is, I'm gonna go to it's the third one, the non-uniform defined contribution pension. Just so you know, that's a 12,123. I'll need a motion on that one.
I'll make that motion.
Need a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Here in a second, further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And the last one is a police uniform. You can see substantially, that's a lot more. You also see the normal percentage, and that is 18.81, and the total amortization amount is 103,984. So you look down there at the bottom, 279,130. So I'll need a motion on that one.
I'll make that motion.
There a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to new business E. This is escrow release. Michelle?
So this was a stormwater project at 212 Pineford Road. It was owned by Platinum Four Properties. They recently sold the property to a new owner, and so they're asking for a return of their funds that they have in escrow in the amount of $2,355.55. Need a motion for approval.
Okay, any questions before I ask for the motion on that one, just so we're good?
We don't need to have an escrow from the new owners?
We will get an escrow from the new owners once they submit their new plans for stormwater, and then we'll get the escrow from them.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
You're in a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
You're in a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. New business F. In your packet, you also have, Greg mentioned this earlier, some definitions the Open Space Committee asked us to take a look at and see if we're okay with those. Greg's here, if there's any questions on that, if you read through that, I'll need a motion to support that. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I will second it.
Here in a second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Against? Motion carried. That concludes new business. We will now move on to